The chosen one, your 300-year-old family treasure found. This moment was a secret that generations dreamed of, passed down in whispers throughout history, thought to be forgotten. And now, that ancient heritage that even time could not make them forget has resurfaced. This is not just a treasure. This is not just gold or stones. This is a prophecy engraved on the destiny of your lineage, a victory sealed with your existence. I ask you now, are you ready to take it up? Because this is not just a discovery, it is an awakening. The moment your ancestors have been waiting for has arrived. You are the owner of this heritage, their blood, their spirit, their vision. They all unite with you today in this sacred moment. You have the power. Your destiny is calling. You must write 77 in the comments immediately because there is no turning back now. The world is shifting, and those who once dismissed the whispers of intuition as mere coincidences now tread carefully around an undeniable force. They mask their discomfort behind stiff pleasantries and calculated words, but their unease seeps through. The air around them tightens when you enter the room. They feel it, not as something tangible, but as a presence they cannot rationalize. And so, they attempt to downplay, to diminish, to rewrite the script in their favor. Yet, the story has already been written, not in ink, but in certainty. A week before events unfold, the details are already laid out, precise as the movement of celestial bodies. You don't deliberate, don't hesitate. The knowing is deep, a resonance beyond words. They skim through the notes, seeking a flaw, an oversight, something that could explain it away. But there is nothing. What was once met with dismissal is now met with silence. They see the pattern now, the sequence of revelations too intricate to be mere chance. And for the first time, their certainty in their own understanding wavers. At the beginning, they laughed, they interrupted, they exchanged knowing glances when you spoke. Your insights were met with casual rejection, as if the walls they had built around their beliefs could not be shaken. But time is relentless, and one by one, the falsehoods crumbled. The structure they were so sure of cracked, not by force, but by truth standing firm against illusion. They replay conversations in their minds, realizing too late that they had been given a glimpse of what was to come. But they chose blindness. Their skepticism is now a weight in the air, their silence carrying a new texture, one laced with hesitation. The ground beneath them no longer feels solid. They do not know how to categorize you, do not know where you fit in the carefully ordered framework of their world. It is not about words, nor about spectacle. It is about a presence that cannot be ignored, an awareness they cannot define. And it unsettles them because they are used to controlling what they understand. But this exists outside their reach. The discomfort they feel has little to do with you and everything to do with what you represent. They whisper when they think you are not listening, trying to make sense of what defies explanation. But there is nothing to decode. It is not a trick, not a manipulation, not something acquired through strategy. It is simply the ability to see without distortion, to perceive without interference. And in a world where control is currency, that is the most dangerous power of all. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom. For you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. The game was never fair, but the moment they realized they couldn't manipulate the board, they panicked. They had built their illusions carefully, weaving deception into every interaction, expecting their narratives to be swallowed whole. But when their tactics failed to warp your reality, they reached for the oldest trick in the book: discredit the one who cannot be controlled. They whispered behind closed doors, casting shadows on your name in places you'd never been, hoping that echoes of doubt would do what their schemes could not. But truth is a force beyond their reach. Those who have seen your presence, felt the clarity you bring, know the difference between manufactured slander and undeniable reality. Their frustration deepens when exclusion becomes their last resort. They attempt to erase your presence from conversations, quietly remove you from circles, and close doors they once held open. They hope that by shutting you out, they can diminish your significance. But they never understood that you never needed permission to exist. Their tables were never where your strength was built. You do not shrink in the absence of their invitations. If anything, your absence becomes a presence too large to ignore. Their desperation turns into something more insidious. When their whispers do not break you and their distance does not weaken you, they resort to sabotage. Envy festers in their actions, seeping into their words, hidden behind forced smiles. They plot in shadows, mistaking their secrecy for protection. But you have always felt the shift before it arrives. The unseen currents of intent, the unspoken weight in the air. You sense it all before a single word is spoken. They assume their strikes will go unnoticed, yet every move they make only reveals them further. Like a beacon of everlasting light in a midnight storm, your spirit shines forth with a power that no human stratagem can dim. Every subtle maneuver to tarnish your name is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the decay festering in the hearts of those who seek to bring you down. They do not realize that every attempt to undermine you is a reflection of their own decay. The energy they hurl outward circles back with the full force of intention. They thought they could dismantle your presence with rumors and schemes, never considering that deception erodes only those who wield it. The trap they set was never for you. It was always their own downfall in disguise. You see, friends, when people try to control what they cannot fathom, it is not you they aim to master, but the darkness within themselves. In every whispered word of betrayal and every sly insinuation tossed behind your back, there lies a confession of their inner rot. Their ploys and contrived narratives, meant to belittle and confuse, are nothing but misguided attempts to cover the cracks in their own fragile foundation. They throw out their bitterness like seeds on barren ground, not realizing that what they sow will one day return, imbued with the full might of divine justice. Now let me tell you something plain and simple. When you stand firm in the truth, you are unassailable. Just as the mighty oak endures the harshest storms, your unwavering integrity resists the corrosive force of deceit. Those who cast stones from behind closed doors only reveal the hollowness of their own spirits. Their efforts to cast doubt upon you are not weapons against your strength. They are indicators of their own failing resolve. Each false rumor, each calculated whisper is like a raindrop that ultimately nourishes the soil of their own ruin. Friends, in this life, we all encounter moments when the misguided try to pull us down with tales of lies and treachery. They weave stories to confuse and disorient, believing that by tarnishing your light, they can claim some semblance of control. But what they do not understand is that the very energy they release, full of spite and ill will, travels on a circuit of its own making. Like a river that finds its way back to the sea, their negativity returns, carrying with it the weight of their own undoing. Their every attempt to diminish your stature only deepens the shadows around them, marking the beginning of their own collapse. It is a truth as old as time. The truth stands firm, regardless of the storms it faces. You, with your steadfast heart and unyielding faith, shine with a radiance that no web of deceit can obscure. The schemes of those who are lost in the mire of their own shortcomings fall apart before the sheer force of your authenticity. They believe that by whispering half-truths in hushed tones and plotting behind smiles, they can erode your strength. But let me assure you, dear friend, that every maneuver they make against you is simply a step toward their own undoing. Their dark intentions, meant to cripple your spirit, circle back upon them with all the power they ever tried to wield. Like a radiant lighthouse standing firm on a rugged coastline, your spirit beams a divine light that guides lost sailors home, even through the fiercest storms. Consider how the most fertile fields are enriched by the very elements that once seemed destructive. In the same way, the trials and tests that appear to shake you actually become the soil in which your spirit takes root and grows stronger. The very attempts to undercut you, to strip away the foundation of who you are, serve instead as nourishment for your soul's growth. Every act of malice directed your way unveils the fragility of those who commit it, exposing the weakness within their own hearts. Like a gentle current beneath a sturdy boat, your inner light transforms their bitter energy into the fuel for your ascension. You do not need to fight their assaults with harsh words or frantic gestures. Your quiet strength and unwavering truth stand as a living testimony to the higher power that guides you. Now, my dear friends, understand this simple truth. Every challenge that comes your way is an opportunity in disguise. In the same manner that a seed must be buried in darkness before it can break forth into glorious life, so too must the trials that seek to diminish you instead cultivate the strength of your inner being. When those who lack understanding attempt to tear down your character with baseless criticism and slander, they are merely revealing their own inner decay. Their efforts to tarnish your name and deface your true self are like throwing stones into a river. The water, in its natural course, washes them back to shore with a force far greater than they anticipated. Imagine a vast garden where the richest harvest comes not from gentle care alone, but also from the occasional tempest that shakes loose the old and paves the way for new growth. In each act of unkindness, those who conspire against you inadvertently sow the seeds of their own downfall. Their attempts to undermine you are not weapons to defeat your spirit. Rather, they are reflections of their own diminishing resolve. As a soft wind lifts a humble sailboat across still waters, so does your inner strength carry you effortlessly upward, turning their negativity into a powerful force for your advancement. In everyday language that speaks plainly to the heart, think of it this way: when someone tries to cut you down, it is their own weakness that is on display. They act as if they have the power to diminish your worth with a few whispered words, but they soon learn that true power comes from within. The criticisms they launch, the rumors they spread, and the schemes they weave are all destined to circle back upon them like a boomerang fashioned by divine justice. Every attempt they make to erode the foundation of your identity only helps you grow stronger, for you have built your life on a rock-solid truth that no earthly force can shake. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Brothers and sisters, it is important to remember that in this journey of life, we are all part of a grand design where every hardship is a stepping stone to greater glory. The hardships that seem to attack your very essence are nothing more than gentle reminders that the highest power is refining you. These moments of adversity, though painful to those who perpetrate them, are a natural part of the process that transforms struggle into triumph. You are chosen for a purpose far beyond the petty schemes of those who operate out of envy and insecurity. Their actions, intended to cast shadows on your light, inadvertently become the very nourishment that feeds your soul and propels you toward higher realms of spiritual victory. Let us consider the words of wisdom passed down through generations. Every hardship is an opportunity to witness the miraculous at work. When the winds of adversity blow and shake the trees of your life, they clear away the dead branches and allow the vibrant leaves to flourish. The energy that those who oppose you release is not lost to the void. It returns with the full force of divine intention, empowering you to rise even higher than before. You are not called to wage a war of words or engage in futile battles over petty grievances. Instead, your mission is to remain steadfast, letting your inner light shine so brightly that it transforms even the darkest of challenges into stepping stones on your path to glory. Think of your life as a grand tapestry, woven with threads of trials, triumphs, and divine purpose. Each negative act aimed at you is merely one thread among many, and when woven together, they create a masterpiece that testifies to your resilience and the goodness that fills your heart. The schemes of those who seek to bring you down, though they may seem forceful in the moment, ultimately add to the rich texture of your journey. Like a skilled gardener who knows that even the harshest winds can help a tree grow deeper roots, you too grow stronger with every trial that comes your way. The very elements that some might see as destructive are, in fact, the catalysts for your magnificent transformation. And so, dear friends, as you walk along the path laid out before you, remember that every act of opposition is a hidden blessing in disguise. The efforts of those who aim to undermine you are not successful in their intent, for their negativity bounces back upon them like a river that carves its own channel. They believe they can weaken your spirit through whispers and slander. But little do they know that the truth of your being is impervious to such assaults. Your quiet demeanor, your steadfast belief in a higher purpose, and the unyielding power of your inner light stand as undeniable proof of the divine presence that guides you. In this life, we encounter many who try to diminish our light by sowing seeds of doubt and despair. Yet, it is in those very moments that our true strength is revealed. You do not need to stoop to their level or engage in a battle of harsh words and defensive actions. Instead, you let your actions speak for themselves, allowing your character and your unwavering commitment to truth to shine through. Just as the morning sun dispels the darkness of night without even trying, your spirit rises naturally, unstoppable and ever radiant. The power you hold within is a sacred gift, one that transforms every negative force aimed at you into an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding. Listen closely to the gentle whisper of your heart and the quiet voice of divine guidance. It reminds you that every hardship, every unkind word, and every attempt to diminish your worth is part of a larger, beautiful plan. These challenges, though they may seem daunting in the moment, are ultimately the means by which you are elevated to a higher plane of existence. The truth that you live by is not subject to the whims of those who seek to tear it down. It is anchored in a power far greater than any human endeavor. The very attempts to undercut you reveal not just the fragility of the attacker's resolve, but also the unstoppable force of your own determination. Remember, too, that the very nature of life is such that every drop of rain, every gust of wind, and every ray of sunlight plays a role in nurturing the earth. In the same way, every seemingly destructive force that comes your way is transformed into the water that nourishes your soul, the wind that fills your sails, and the sunlight that reveals your true path. Your journey is blessed by a higher power that works in mysterious ways, turning what appears to be adversity into the very elements that propel you toward greatness. The trials you face are not signs of your weakness, but stepping stones that pave the way for a future filled with abundance, joy, and profound spiritual fulfillment. In closing, allow this message to resonate within you as a reminder that you are a chosen vessel of light and hope. The struggles that come your way are the very instruments of your growth and the catalysts for your divine transformation. As you continue on your journey, let the nourishment of these experiences fill you with a renewed sense of purpose and an unshakable belief in the power of truth. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that every trial is an opportunity to rise higher, to shine brighter, and to fulfill the destiny that has been divinely ordained for you. May your days be filled with blessings, and may you always feel the comforting embrace of a higher power that turns every shadow into a stepping stone toward everlasting joy and prosperity. In everyday language, it's like watching someone try to pull down a building made of sand, only to have the tide of their own misguided actions wash it away. They imagine that by launching their campaign of lies, they can disrupt the order and harmony that you naturally exude. Instead, they only expose the cracks in their own design, the crumbling edges of a facade built on falsehoods. Your life is a living sermon, a message of hope and perseverance that cannot be silenced by the mere murmurings of the discontented. Brothers and sisters, as you journey through each day with your head held high, remember that the power they try to wield against you is not a weapon, but a mirror. Each attempt to defame and diminish you is a testament to their inner disintegration. Their rumors, their sneers, and their calculated moves are like a boomerang, destined to return and strike them with the force of their own intentions. This is not a matter of luck or chance. It is the natural law of cause and effect at work, a divine principle that assures us that what is sown in darkness shall be reaped in light. I say to you today, in the spirit of unwavering hope and determination, that you are far more than the sum of their misdirected efforts. Your worth is not determined by the fleeting opinions of those who are lost in their own despair, but by the eternal truth that shines within you. Each attempt to undermine your existence is nothing more than an invitation for the light to shine even brighter. a call for the heavens to bestow upon you the gifts of clarity, strength, and renewed purpose. Your journey is ordained by a force greater than any human schemer, and it is written in the stars that you will rise above every shadow cast by the envy and decay of others. Look around you and see how the universe operates in perfect harmony. Every trial you face, every attack launched in the name of control, eventually finds its counterpart in the resilience of your spirit. The missteps of those who conspire against you are not isolated acts of malice. They are the very threads in the tapestry of their own unraveling. As the day unfolds and the truth comes to light, the weight of their deception becomes a burden too heavy to carry. Their plans, meticulously devised to tear you down, only serve to highlight the stark contrast between their crumbling world and the solid foundation of your being. Now, as you stand at the crossroads of challenge and triumph, remember that your destiny is not defined by the negativity of others, but by the brilliant light of your inner truth. The very energy that they so desperately try to unleash against you is a force that ultimately leads back to its source, creating a cycle of retribution that no human scheme can escape. It is a simple, undeniable fact that every act of deceit only accelerates the decay of its originator. And so, as you continue on your path, let the light of your spirit be a beacon to all who wander in darkness, a symbol of the eternal promise that truth and goodness will always prevail. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Indeed, as the sun rises each morning, dispelling the remnants of night, so too does your spirit banish the shadows of deception. In the final analysis, the efforts of those who seek to tear you down are nothing more than a self-imposed prison of their own making. They have built their walls from the rubble of their own shortcomings, and in trying to bring you low, they have ensured that their own foundations will crumble. The energy of their schemes, laden with the weight of ill intent, returns to them with the uncompromising force of divine justice, a justice that stands as a testament to the enduring power of truth, the inexorable march of righteousness, and the unstoppable rise of a soul that will never be diminished. May you continue to walk boldly in the light of this truth, knowing that every attempt to undermine you only accelerates the transformation of those misguided enough to try. Let your heart be filled with the assurance that your journey is blessed, your purpose is sacred, and your destiny is secure. For in the grand design of all things, every act of malice is transformed into the very catalyst that propels you toward ever greater heights. And as you rise, so too does the revelation of a new day, a day when the power of your spirit leaves no room for the decay of those who would seek to diminish it, but instead ushers in a future of hope, prosperity, and unyielding grace. As the days pass, the weight of their own choices begins to press down on them. They see the walls closing in, not around you, but around themselves. The very foundation they stood upon, built on pretense, on borrowed influence, begins to crack. The ones they sought to manipulate begin to see through the veil. The carefully crafted facades no longer hold weight, and one by one, their allies slip away. There is no dramatic reckoning, no grand confrontation, just the slow, inevitable unraveling of lies that can no longer sustain themselves. You never needed to defend yourself. The truth, left untouched, did all the work. While they exhausted themselves in battle, you remained still. While they strategized in secrecy, you walked in clarity. And now, as they struggle under the weight of their own designs, you move forward, unshaken, unburdened, untouched. They fought so hard to silence you, but in the end, they only proved your presence impossible to erase.